Now, tensions have been high at the Property Practitioners Regulatory Authority since the Chief Executive, Mamodupi Mohlala, was placed on precautionary suspension. Now, that comes after reports from numerous whistleblowers and the report from the Public Service Commission on maladministration and misappropriation of pension funds. Now, the Independent Estate Agency Network of South Africa is calling for stable leadership and transformation within that sector. Let's unpack this further now. I've got the United Civil Society Action, Steboko Sehatu, and the Property Industry Transformation Council Holdings, Leslie Sehatu, joining me now. I mean, this has become a very contentious issue that is unfolding, and there's clear indications that investigations are showing that there was malfeasance that happened under the leadership of Ms. Mohlala, and you're obviously saying this is not the situation.
Yeah, thank you. It's not the situation, it's propaganda, and I wish the media would actually dig deeper in understanding the issues.
So
Number
make us
one,
understand.
yes, let me make you understand. That's why we're here. They say the CEO has been suspended because of the pension fund matter and the fact that she appointed people illegally. That's wrong. She was not in the panel that interviewed the new employees that she hired subsequently. As a head of administration, as the CEO, you sign off on such. She didn't sit in any of those panels. That's number one. They're linking this to the pension fund. The pension fund matter is a previous board issue that the previous board never dealt with. They were complacent, and how so? The former CFO and the former board secretary actually cashed in on the pension fund against the decision that was made, and that affected the liquidity of the pension fund. She had nothing to do with it, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I mean, this is the bold statements that you're making here, Tebogo. And Leslie, I just want to bring you in on the conversation here in that, what about the argument that we haven't found her guilty of anything yet? We've just put her aside so we can investigate the operations under her leadership.
Yeah, that's politics, and is to delay transformation in our view. Prior to her suspension, we attended a hearing against where practitioners were supposed to come through with their submissions on the racism in the sector. So we've seen great work and everything. And like Deborah is saying, I mean, she'll be in court on Tuesday.
Yes,
and
she's now taking the PPRA to court.
Yes, but you know, we've seen with most institutions, you know, somebody gets removed for a moment, and for us, our concern is transformation for the moment has been halted, and now. I mean, I've been in the sector myself 24 years, and it hasn't been an easy ride. So we just want to basically expose the politics that have been played with the lives of the practitioners while this is happening, because it was unnecessary. It's a new board, and when we engaged the board not formally, and we said we will engage them in a formal manner because we understood that there were divisions in any case, and we were shocked, and that call was even made by the DA, and we cautioned them to say the DA has been racist. They never even came up even when racist allegations were leveled against certain estate agencies, and there's a case in Cape Town.
That's a very important point to bring up, because Tebogo, in the meantime, while we're seeing the leadership disruptions that we are seeing currently, the industry suffers quite severely.
Yeah, and the industry has suffered for all these years. In fact, since the dawn of democracy, the property sector is one of the least transformed sectors. There's a lot of racism. People still suffer from racism. I mean, at the racism workshop that we attended, that the board only arrived moments before it ended, which was so disrespectful. People were telling shocking, horrific stories of where they have been in the sector for more than 20 years. They cannot sell as a state agency in estates just because of their black. It cannot be. And I want to emphasize that the fact that this board is illegal, number one. And
how is it illegal? Explain that to us.
It's illegal because you see they were appointed before the actual promulgation of the Act.
So doesn't some responsibility coming through from Minister Mamoloko Kubai?
Definitely.
Anything?
She's complacent, and we are going to go for her. God, she must pray that Mamodupi doesn't win. But if she doesn't win, then I will agree with the view that this judiciary is captured. Because if a board is appointed illegally, they're not supposed to be there in the first place. So we let that go because we're hoping that they're going to be progressive. But we're going to go for them, and then we're going to make sure that we overturn the suspension.
I want you to explain this illegality note. Maybe, Leslie, you can come in here, because the board was appointed by Mamoloko Kubai, the minister, last year. So if it's illegal, how should the appointment process be working?
Okay, even before I go there, just yesterday there was a story about the chair.
In the Mail and Guardian.
Yes.
There's shenanigans, there's stuff about him.
Yes.
But he's there. Why is he still there? So there's questions, and he comes and suspends the CEO.
Yes.
But we'll ventilate all these things in court, like Deboho has just said. But we've been studying even the appointments and everything. We haven't formally engaged the minister, and I think it's only fair that we do that, and so that she can explain to us.
But I must say I'm disappointed. Reading the Mail and Guardian, her responses, you cannot say because of somebody who was accused of malfeasance 10 years ago, so it's okay to appoint them. It's being complacent as a minister. She's a black woman. Her response smacks of GPV. When you complain about racism, shockingly, every time it's the black person who will jump first at the defense of a racist. Same applies. Mamoloko is the first person to jump and trash
I think
Mamodupi.
we should.
So let me answer that question. That's a very important question. Why is the board illegal? The promulgation of an act was supposed to happen first, and then the board be appointed. Remember, it was talking about the PPRA moving from the DTIC into the Human Settlement Department. So the fact that it would have been the fact that they were appointed before the act was promulgated, it makes it illegal. In fact, then it takes us back to even Parliament, how complacent they were, and this will make sure that as Mamodupi wins this case, then we are going to go for the board, and we are going to go for them for the racist, because you cannot suspend somebody because of a political party. The whole thing started with the DA releasing a statement to say the CEO should be suspended, and the board acts on that. So who are they serving? They are not there for practitioners. They are there for political reasons.
And you asked about. What I want to say is. There's a program. I'm the beneficiary of such a program, PDI, and the CEO basically came up with a program for transformation to say all black estate agents who've been out there, because the audit fees are very expensive. I mean, if you are out of the system and you haven't submitted the audited financials, you'll pay 40,000, 50,000. And post-COVID and even with the business that black people get, you're not able to afford that. So she's had really good programs for transformation.
I mean we are running out of time. I'm sorry to come in there, Leslie, but just a final thought from very briefly, Deboho, then use Leslie. In the medium term, what do you want to see happen? We've got the suspension, we've got the court case which is now pending, we've got you wanting to formally engage Minister Mamoloko Kubai, but what are the immediate outcomes you're hoping to see?
Well, because the case is subject to care, we're going to be in court in support of the CEO, and we're going to write to the minister, and hopefully the CEO wins the case and to overturn a suspension. And one thing we will not leave, we will push the agenda for transformation up until it happens. It doesn't matter who's there, but we believe that she's the right person at the moment to be there, and we're going to support her. But whoever ends up there, even a new board, we will push for transformation up until it happens.
Yeah, I think Deboho has taken the words off my mouth. But whether Mamodupi is there or not, we want her to be there because she's proven herself to be supportive of transformation, which a lot of people didn't. And if I have to chip in, if you remember back in the days, there was a lady who dealt with Wendy mechanic in the property sector, and she was rebuked by politicians for doing the right thing. So it's almost like there's powerful people who cannot be touched, and there is a case coming. Watch the space where black people are being called monkeys in the sector. We cannot afford to have that in 2022.